Good morning and thank you very much for joining us. I am Iyori Folari. Now, as you've no doubt been reading, learning over in the southeast of the country, all isn't as well as it could be, by which I mean the stay-at-home order. And then before that, we had heard that men suspected to be members of the proscribed IPOB are thought to have been those that invaded a school and sent staff and students, dashing for cover, dashing for the, for their lives. Mondays in recent times have been a stay-at-home day for people of the Southeast. Again, a call made by the proscribed IPOB organization. And even today, as we speak, I'm just hearing from one of my guests, CK Chris Kende Wandu, journalist and public affairs analyst, that today, Tuesday, is also a sit-at-home order that is being obeyed. We'll come to that. My other guest is Emeka Madnago, public affairs analyst and journalist. Thank you very much. Indeed, it's our pleasure.
Thank you.
We already know of, that is to say, not everybody, certainly the governors are not happy with it. Just imagine the economic impact of the stay-at-home on a Monday order. But then it's been in place, and now they add Tuesday. You were informing me that today in the Southeast, people are very much staying at home. Is that right?
It's right, and it's a fact, verifiable. Yesterday was a normal Monday sit at home.
It has become more or less like normal.
It has become normal. But the unfortunate side of it is that even when IPOB issued a statement that sit at home was lifted at a point, people still refuse to go out on Mondays. And that to me goes to show to a large extent that even IPOB seems to be losing the grip on the people, and the information is passing out. So because if IPOB then, some few weeks back, could say that people should go about their duties, that particular Monday, or for some Mondays, people should go about, people still refuse to go. That means something is very fishy somewhere. But that of today, according to the report the fellows were getting from the various parts of the Southeast, is that people are sitting, IPOB are people to sit at home to commemorate the 3-year anniversary of so-called, if we use the word, killing of some IPOB members, invasion of the residents of the Operation Python Dance and the rest of them. So that has supposed to be a normal yearly event, which falls today again. So the whole of the Southeast has been paralyzed. No movement, no schools. People didn't go to school. Workers didn't go to. I don't know whether the banks opened, because I remembered that the governor of Imo State issued a statement, an order last week, that any bank that refused to open on Mondays will be shut down. The governor of Anambra State also issued that order. Yesterday he was seen moving around the towns to ask people to move out and come out and do their business. But the way it is, it's not for people to come out. It is not that most people of the Southeast agree with what IPOB is doing in terms of sitting at home, but it's because of the fear to their lives. Okay, I hear you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Now, let me bring to Emeka the question of IPOB, IPOB, is a proscribed organization. IPOB stands for
Independent Peoples of Biafra.
Indigenous Peoples of Biafra. It's a proscribed organization. Yeah. It has been scratched by law. How come it has the grip it appears to have still? It's a proscribed organization. They are still issuing orders that the public is listening to, apparently. Police have said, civil leaders have said, go about your business, have no fear, we got your back. Do you understand what exactly is happening here?
You look at why development economists, social scientists have always wondered about when the poor, the ordinary people, lead what you call, quote unquote, a revolution, express their anger. Such things, why? How come they are so sustained? They are the ones suffering, sit at home. They are the ones suffering from disruptions, and yet they don't give a hoot.
it still remains a puzzle for development economists and social scientists.
Could terror be a part of it? Could it be that they are being terrorized?
Yes. In a way,
never mind any ideology.
Yes.
But they are being threatened and terrorized.
Yes, threatened and terrorized. And then also, to some extent, they share in the sentiments put forward by these groups. If you recall, President Goodluck Jonathan in 2013, May 2013, he proscribed Boko Haram. He declared it a terrorist organization. But what has happened since then? You still see the people, the locals, collecting, Boko Haram paying money to the locals, paying money even to security agents. And you now wonder, what is the lure? What is the attraction?
Sorry, it was a bit that you added. Boko Haram paying money to certain authorities?
No, to certain people. I'm talking to the ordinary people. Now I'm bringing it down to the ordinary people.
Okay.
To the ordinary people, paying to the ordinary people.
But what kind of payment? Because
pay money to them.
Usually,
pay money to them to join.
It's the people that pay money to these terrorist organizations.
Both ways. In recruiting them, they offer them money. In recruiting them, they offer them money.
Okay, that's as far as Boko Haram is going on.
Now,
do you think it's similar in the case of IPOB?
Beyond that is that IPOB has significantly built trust in the heart of the people that we are fighting for you. You are marginalized. You are not regarded sufficiently as a part of the Nigerian nation. So the politicians, you can't trust them. They have failed you.
Are you persuaded that it is trust and not fear?
Both.
Okay. What do you think about that question? Because when, as Emeka is saying, some of the ordinary people actually trust them, believe in the message of this proscribed organization, IPOB, the matter of, is it really trust or is it fear at the hands of terrorists?
There are people that, as Emeka said, trust and still trusted IPOB. There are so many people that believe in the ideology. There are so many people that believe in what they stand for. There are so many people that believe in what they are fighting for. The trust here is the fact that why practically every Igbo man.
I beg your pardon.
Yes.
Forgive me for interrupting you.
Yes,
it's because I want to try and understand it. The Igbo,
yes,
the leadership of Igbo,
yes,
has been.
You mean Ohaneze Igbo? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. There's a difference between Ohaneze and
Igbo
and the way I put it.
Yes.
You said therefore it must be important.
Yes.
I think it must be important.
There are leaders of Igbo land who are not members of Ohaneze.
Yes.
Okay.
Ohaneze Igbo is more like a cultural political group.
And they are listened to. They are an influential group.
Yes, they are.
Now, they have spoken, to the extent that anyone can speak for a people, they have said that IPOB is a separate and a delicate issue. There are criminal aspects to it. Not all Igbo men, identify with the aspirations and the objectives of IPOB.
Yeah.
But you are saying to me that is a group that must be distinguished from the ordinary people at the bottom of the pyramid, so to speak.
As I was saying, first and foremost, I was going somewhere. I said practically every Igbo man believes that the Igbos have been marginalized.
Yes.
Okay.
Practically.
Okay.
If you 99.9% of Igbos,
I hear you,
believe that Igbos have been marginalized, and there is a trust deficit between Igbos and the federal government or the Nigerian nation. And there's the need for that trust to be harnessed and let there be some kind of a shake.
Yes, a handshake.
A handshake across the Niger. Yeah. That is one. Then the issue now is, yes, as I said, situated that practically every Igbo man believe that Igbos have been marginalized. But the issue now is, how do you pursue that agitation? Yes. So that the method to be used to pursue that, and that is why IPOB is different from Ohaneze and Igbo. It's also different from certain intellectuals, professionals, and so the IPOB can be seen from the point of the extreme.
As an extremist.
As an extremist youth, the youth. Yeah. But the people believe in the ideologies being proposed by IPOB, being followed by, but the methodology is the issue.
I think one can run with that.
Yes.
Whereas the statement he made that very many Igbos think of the marginalization question.
Yes,
and they are determined to come out from under that yoke.
They want to be heard.
Yes, yes. You know, they are every bit as Nigerian. They're every bit as Nigerian as anybody else.
Yes.
I think that's a one.
Yes.
That's a fine.
Well
one.
established.
You know,
well established.
Now, how they go about it, IPOB has been going about it the illegal way. IPOB constituted itself into an enemy of state. It culminated in their being proscribed.
Yes.
But they still are able to shut down the state, and that is the conundrum here. See, you've used the word trust here.
Yeah.
They have been assured by leaders that come out, go about your business. You said the governor in Imo, was it in Imo?
Even Anambra State.
They drove around trying to encourage people.
Yes.
But people are not having it. It's okay, I understand you, but when you say what you say, but people must be staying at home because they're terrorized, because they're terrified.
It's all part of it. Look at the history of the ANC, African National Congress in South Africa. It was declared a terrorist organization. Its leaders were imprisoned, but it grew in popularity. And over time, the government had to go out to meet with them, to discuss with them, because you see, they are a part of the society.
Yes.
And if you look at, even in Europe, the late Chief Gani Fayemi once said that you must accommodate all strands of society. Because even, for instance, you look, I don't know, is it Germany or Holland that has, the raving loony left. You know what raving is? Loony left. People who are given to extremism in all forms. But you have to find a way to bring them closer and then gradually shed them off, that extremist tendency, so that no part of the polity is left. And President Buhari said it. He said as much when he was in Owerri on Thursday. He said it's unthinkable for any Igbo man, to say he wants to be out of Nigeria. But I let you know that there are Igbo men who believe they don't belong to Nigeria, that they don't want to belong to Nigeria. But what will you do? Will you kill them?
You see,
you have to.
You're very right.
Meet them.
You're right.
When you have to reach out to them. You have to hear them.
When you paraphrase the president that way, I think he's right. You're right. Yes. I think it was also in Owerri that the president said he's quite surprised to hear the sentiment that IPOB put out, and that some are still, projecting. He said, because where will you go in this Federal Republic of Nigeria? Where? Tell me the corner you will go and you will not meet an Igbo man. In other words, the Igbo is interwoven in, I'm now trying to understand.
Yes.
The Igbo are interwoven in the fabric of Nigeria. So Buhari said, I can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah.
That was Buhari.
It goes beyond that.
Yes.
It goes beyond that. There is nowhere in Nigeria you will go, you won't see a Yoruba man. There is nowhere you go in Nigeria, you will see an Hausa man, even a Fulani man. Yeah. There is nowhere you go in Nigeria, you will not see somebody from the South.
Yes.
There is nowhere you go in Nigeria that you will not see somebody from Kogi, Adamawa, Kano, Kadunna, Benue. Anywhere in Nigeria. In fact, there is nowhere you go in the world that you will not see a Yoruba man. If you go to London, practically, you know what I mean.
Well, you are saying it.
When
you now look at me and say you know what I mean, you are saying it.
You are nodding your head. For example, there is no street you go practically in UK that you not see Yoruba man.
Yeah.
In the United States, you will see Igbos. In Israel, you see. So what I will say in essence, the fact that you find these people in these places does not mean that they constitute a political bloc.
Yes.
That is where the problem is. Yeah. And I've always said, time with that number, that the fact that you see Igbos everywhere and the rest of them, do they have the political will? You have to understand one thing, that is the politics that drives the economy.
Well, sorry, when you just said, I'm taking it for granted that it wasn't a misspeak.
Yes.
When you said, do they have the political will, who are you going to blame for that?
The structure. One. Let me take
if they have the political will, or if they don't have the political will,
if you don't make it possible for certain regions,
you have to make it.
You have to make it possible. Let me just give you. Let me give because it is always quite often for us to just cut off the branches and just leave the root of the matter, and that is where the problem is. Our leaders don't even understand the problem in the Southeast, and that is what we are saying. I'm not saying that because I'm an Igbo man. I'm saying that I'm a destabilized person. My father is from Imo State. My mom is Yoruba. So it's not like I'm saying it because I am an Igbo woman, but I am telling I'm a student of history. And I know that let's look at this. Between 1960 and today, how many Igbos have become president of Nigeria? Politically, we're looking at it from that point. Let's just, apart from Agu Yosik that got there through this thing, the nearest to it was in 1979 when Ekwueme was made or elected as the vice president. Yes. You can say Ebitu Kiwe was more or less the chief of staff, supreme headquarters under the military, but that is neither here nor there. Ekwueme almost got it in 1999 when they formed PDP. But you know the politics that played that made Obasanjo to be brought in to become the presidential candidate. So in that, now I take it down. The agitation has always, we're going towards 2023. And we'll be saying that, no, let us look at it from the point that so that certain individuals or certain groups are not able to get to this point where now they say no, rotation, no, of this and of that. And that is part of the, so the average man, not intellectually as sound as I may be, not educationally sound as well, that can suffer things. The average man in Igbo land will say that they don't want us to be part of Nigeria. And that is where the problem. So if I come up tomorrow and say, what that means, follow me. And I tell them what they can believe, that make them believe that Nigeria is against them. They will follow me.
Well,
forget Nnamdi Kanu.
I hear you. But I also, with respect, think it is debatable, your assertion that if just anybody came out and said, follow me, that a lot of people are likely to follow. I don't want to make a big issue. I just wanted to sort of...
Sorry, let me just put it. Nnamdi Kanu, from nowhere, you just think it's from nowhere, came up and gave people told them what they want to hear. Before Nnamdi Kanu, there was Mazop. Are you aware?
Yeah, it was Wazirike.
It was Wazirike. You forgot there was one Wazirike. That one has gone to the background. Nnamdi Kanu, by the time you hold Nnamdi Kanu, you can be rest assured that in the next 2-3 years, someone else might just come up.
Okay. Now, why, as you said, Mazop has sort of withdrawn to the background or sort of slinked to the background? You could talk about that. Could it be because they were more moderate or seem to be more moderate? And
people give them opportunity, probably. Let me tell you,
yes,
their approach. People don't seem to understand or don't seem to follow the approach. Then I saw a young man who was so vibrant, who was going to. I am not in support. I'm not. I will say it on public TV. I am not a supporter of Nnamdi Kanu. The approach is taking,
IPOB.
or IPOB,
okay,
or the approaches. But the ideologies, the things that he's fighting for, I am totally for it. It's the approach that is different.
And these questions, let me just refer to them as the Igbo concerns, for lack of a better expression. There's been no shortage of conversations, public conversations on these matters. So most Nigerians are fully aware. The Igbo intelligentsia, or how do you call the intellectuals there? You know, people who know what they're talking about, you know, and can match anybody intellectually anywhere in the world. They have spoken about this at length. But I'm still, I still have the situation of, I think the premise is that, look, never mind the methodology, let's go to the root cause. And the root cause is that the average Igbo person, you know, you say, feels disenfranchised, marginalized.
Yes.
Now,
alienated.
Okay, use all those words, even as you know that.
That's a feeling.
Yeah, that's a feeling.
That's
as you know, the federal authorities.
Others may feel it's
the federal
wrong,
authorities,
but it's a feeling.
You know, the body language and even the utterances of the federal authorities is that I just don't know how this can be.
It's been a situation of mixed verses. In one breath, President Muhammad Buhari says a dot in the circle. In another breath, he goes to Owerri and says, I want to reach out to them.
Yes.
It's unthinkable that many Igbo want to be outside Nigeria.
Yes.
And then now, Professor George Obiozor, who is the current president of Ohaneze Ndigbo, said, you know, even though he stopped short, you know, of naming names, he said, okay, free Igbo sons and daughters in prisons across the country. Reach out to us. And let this be the beginning of a series of discussions, dialogue. Let the dialogue continue. But it's not just about dialogue. There must be actions. There must be actions. There must be a sense that, yes, we want to listen to you and we will hear you. And it's not just hearing the old men, you know, or younger men like me. You also have to reach out to the youth, the people on the street. These people are sufficiently enlightened enough. They may not be educated, but let me tell you, communication in Nigeria today.
Whose obligation is that?
Yes, of course, of the government. The Constitution says that government shall exist for the well-being and security of the people. So you must reach out to them. If the president is saying that it's unthinkable for any woman to be out of Nigeria, to think, to wander out of Nigeria, then he's got to meet the Igbo men wherever they are, whether they're in caves, whether they're on the streets, whether they're in palatial mansions. You have to reach out to the people so that, you have a feel of inclusiveness. And then you will better manage Nigeria's diversity.
Okay.
It should not be a conversation with just a certain segment. There must be an inclusive conversation.
It's an intriguing conversation, and it's as delicate as it is intriguing.
It is.
Not every Igbo man sees it that way. I was reading the boss of Peace Airlines, for instance, and I think a handful of other Igbo people who have said that the situation is so horribly misunderstood that if only the people knew the sincere intention of the authorities towards Igbos, you must have seen this yourself, where you saw the president of, or the chair of Peace Airlines, for example. I'm not saying that one person represents all, but at least there are these voices that are saying that, well, look, without prejudice to what you're saying, I can say it's not like that with me, and I don't think I'm the only one. I don't think I'm a special person. You hear this. So when you talk about versus making it a bit difficult,
even the man you're talking about, he was involved in the Niger Delta peace process. So what is he talking about?
Let me say this. That statement can only be stretched further. It's like blind men asked to go and touch an elephant.
Yes.
Sorry, if you understand what I mean. Blind men put in a room, and you bring an elephant, and you say, go and tell us what an elephant looks like. And one will touch the touch, I say, oh, very, very hard. Yes. Now the one will touch the tail, oh, it's a very soft. Blind men going to touch an elephant. So it depends on where you find yourself.
Yes.
But what people like us have always said is that, don't mind the messenger, look at the message. And that is the problem we're having. You are trying to look at the messenger and not looking at the message. The message has been consistent since 1960. Since 1967, since 1970, after the war, there was the 3 hours.
Not implemented.
Has it been implemented? That's what we should ask. Gowon came up with the 3 hours. The Igbos still feel that since after the war, that they've not still find themselves as well reconciled, integrated into the Nigerian state. And that is, you cannot just watch that away. Not what one millionaire or billionaire comes to say that. Of course, if I'm in position of a billionaire, I'm living fat and the rest of the day, I'll be saying that Nigeria has been good to me. But if I'm just somewhere in my village and I'm not getting the best of Nigeria, then I will have a right to agitate. And that is not, but let us even take it further. It's not the only, but the way it is now. It used to be, it's only the Igbos that we agitate. It is the Southwest are agitating now. Or why is Igbo going around everywhere and shouting that we are marginalized? Even the Southwest that seems to be one of the most privileged in the Nigerian nation currently. If you understand what I'm saying. But you could see that agitation is also coming out in the Southwest, which is why someone like Igbo can be mobilizing people and getting people to around the streets and the rest of the But a professor like Baji Akintoye is doing that. Some other people are. So what we are saying in this sense that there are issues that need to be addressed. Is the government addressing it the way they ought to address it? If you like, put the whole battalions of soldiers in the southeast. It will not solve the problem. It has never, has never solved any war anywhere in the world. If not, the Israelis would have conquered the Palestinians. Despite everything they have, you could see that tomorrow they still throw one missile into Israel and the rest of them. The best is to do under these circumstances, which is what some of us, especially on this side of the divide, that don't believe in this war, that I believe that we can go about this intellectually, is make sure that the people, the stakeholders are called. There's nobody who can live out. Just like Emeka said, this little boy that you think that cannot be able to do anything is the one that even cause the worst damage under the circumstances.
Okay. It is thought that members of the proscribed IPOB, indigenous peoples of Biafra, proscribed, as I said. Men from that organization are believed to have swooped on students, pupils, sitting for an examination in the southeast, in the Imo in particular. And, it's like people just don't understand what's going on. So we're talking about that. And it's bringing up other issues. Now, the two gentlemen with me, Emeka Maduagwu and Chris Kehinde Nwadu, have said that they in no way, shape or form support the leader of the band organization, Nnamdi Kanu, or his organization, the IPOB, that has been proscribed. But nevertheless, they feel that there is a sentiment coming from therein that resonates, and that is the issue. That is the issue. So I'm happy both of you have nodded your head that I talked that one well. I talked that one well. So now, what? Maazi Okoroafo, good morning, sir, and I want to thank you because you stayed right through the break, said, don't cut me, I will wait. Go ahead, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, my brothers in the studio.
Good morning, sir.
You have to look at these issues. One, the presidency. Let us look at least southeast. And the 3 R's, this my brother rightly said, that the 3 R's switched to federal government in case after the Civil War. Government should look into it. Now, you ask yourself, why is it that the people don't obey the governors? The governors are part and parcel of the problem that you see all these things going on about sit down and not sitting down. Now, ask yourself. Now, like my fathers and my mother and my sister, many of them 28 months, no pension and gratuity up to today. Some of them 18, some of them 15. Now, tell them, and they have children at home which they pay their school fees and they sit. How do they expect them to listen to the governors? Now, Southeast, people will say that they start people that after money. This is no longer money issue. What they after want is what we call integrity and fair play. Start home. Nobody pays anybody couple. People are saying at home on their own because they sat there and said that what we saw. Look, Mr. You let me tell you, that is why when people talk about crisis in Kadunna, I've just named them as a friend. I started laughing. Why am I laughing? I'm not because if you witness the civil war, Sayuri, if you witness the civil war, how many times? If you witness the civil war, all these things people are glamoring, the federal government will sit down and look at the 3 R's. People suffered. No school. I know when I was small, but I know what you will say that you see train come both fighter and bumper. That time you'll be so confused. Your parents will eat that you eat that they say people to eat this. It's because of the civil war, maybe they're giving to vegetables. It's because of the civil war. And people have seen all those things. And some of them, their parents saw it. And some of these young men doing this, they witnessed the civil war. What are we saying? Everything is what we need in this country. We respect our elders. Already ago, they are spoken. But the governors are not doing anything. The governor have stolen money and this and that. Giving pension, federal government give them money. People are writing reports about that. Nobody cares to look into it. So what are you telling people? Look, the government should listen to what the boys are saying. Southeast president, at least let Nigeria cover it. Equipment, people saw what playing at just past stadium. Equipment supposed to be, but because of the flow, let this flow. What happened? Obasanjo was different. So what is happening? The organizers, they are spoken, but the things that the elders, they are spoken, but the elders will come back home and see how they can go to the federal government to come back and find solutions to the problem. How many young boys? Now, ICPC, let me give you an example. I have children, at least they applied. But the time of going to write this and they say they didn't get password, they started sending the test. They didn't write the test. So who are you guys approach? How do you expect those? These are graduates with first degree and masters. And they are pretty sure that parents have, they are giving that child food, giving the ceremony for Jesus, taking care of that child. Is that what is way? What is wrong? Let us do equity and let us, because it is very annoying. People should not blame anybody saying that. Nobody pays anybody go. People are saying that they are saying on their own, whether private individual or whether public. That is what is happening. But government is listening to the Nigerian youth. Give us our own what we need. If they want to restructure Nigeria into system. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Mazi. That was a very long one, but we owed it to you, seeing as you stayed with us right through the break. It seems like a complex issue, Let me refer to something else that you said. You said the political will, because I was going to bring on that question. Where the political will is not going to come from outside; it's going to come from within. Yeah. And then, CK, he just piped in that when you make it impossible, you don't have an enabling environment. Try and get me to understand that a bit more, because look, it's not as if every Igbo is on the same page in any case.
But they go home and they complain. When they travel home, they complain. You talked about the airpiece man. The road to his hometown, he should tell me that it is, of American standard. Then I'll clap for him. Everybody says it the way it affects him. Yes, the way, they want it to tilt, in their favor. But the truth is that much more development is needed in the southeast, and it is the federal government with its will that can do a lot. We keep talking about the states and all that, but in other states, you are doing so much. Why do you now leave out?
Well, when you say
the southeast,
I'm not sure the federal authorities are going to agree with you, because they are used to pointing proudly at infrastructural development in the east.
Okay, fine. Let them come. Let them organize journalists. We go on a no-holds-barred tour of federal roads in the southeast. And then let's look at the infrastructure they've been talking about. You're talking about Zeke's mausoleum. Somebody's one man's grave. That's what you say is an infrastructure project for my region.
How about the second Niger bridge? How about the second Niger bridge?
Is that the only place where you have bridges? Is it for just Igbos? Okay, Third Mainland Bridge, is it only Yorubas that apply it? You have bridges in the north. Is it only Northerners that apply? Let's get serious. We're talking about things that will boost development, economic development in a region. And we're talking of bridges. Governors are also building bridges. Communities are building bridges.
You see, it looks like you are not, you two gentlemen, and prove me wrong. Oh, first of all, let me not lose Sambo calling in from Kadunna. Good morning, Mr. Sambo. Sambo?
Hello?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, Mr. Folari. Thank you very much, Mr. Folari. Yes.
Good morning.
I'm Sambo from Kadunna here.
Okay.
I've been following your Sambo from Kadunna. Yes, I'm very much interested in all these programs you are presenting, especially about the IPOB and the evolution of Igbos in Nigeria. If the Igbos are complaining they are marginalized, who marginalize them? Then it is not be God who marginalizes them. Politics is a matter of figures. If you want to be president, you have to have the enough population to convince Nigerians to vote your candidates to the presidency. You have Abuga. This is the first time you have Abuga. You have Abuga during the time of Kadunna, Awolowo, and Zik. There was a match. You matched with the NEPO at that time with NCNC and from Abuga. That was the birthplace of Abuga was as far back as 1963 election. I was alive. I'm 78 years now. I know what happened before the Civil War and after the Civil War. In fact, I participated in the 1969 and 1965 regional election in Kaduna here. At the age of 78, I must know what has been going on. So please, when people complain of marginalization, it's wrong. Who marginalizes you? It is your population that marginalizes you. Your own population is the one that marginalizes you. Not
okay, Mr. Sambo, all right, one moment, please. Thank you very much. Since you are nodding your head,
I like what
let me try. Let me see what you took from that.
That's his own understanding of what we're expressing. Okay, why don't we sit down and trash it out? Why not go? I don't believe what you're saying, right? I believe what I'm saying. Then why not reach out? Thank God he spoke far back, 1969. Or was it 59? He said
59.
So between then and now, certain things, certain sentiments, certain things have developed. they must be addressed so that there will be an all-inclusive federation, and then you can manage our diversity better. Even the United States.
Okay.
Even the United States is now doing so much to manage its diversity better.
I think he also said in there, CK, he also said in there, I think he re-echoed the idea about, look, the Igbos, if the Igbos, and I think it has been said by Igbos themselves, if the Igbos are expecting anybody to drop the presidency in their laps, sake of the because of the argument that is not going to happen. In other words, they have to roll up their sleeves and do the necessary, which is persuade everybody around that indeed they are qualified for the job. You've heard that kind of sentiment.
I have, and I agree with him to a certain extent. But the fact is that can any region in Nigeria become the president or take the president without the support of other regions? No. And that is what we are talking about. And
you think
that is what we're talking about.
You think the Igbo is not supported in any such aspirations?
Some people who still have the mentality of the Civil War at the back of their head.
Well, that is speculative. You are speculating that.
I'm not speculating. I'm saying that as a person, and I think I'm entitled to my opinion too. You understand what I'm trying to say? I am telling, and that is the problem with Nigeria. When you say people express themselves, they say no. Well, it's either you are speaking from a point of ignorance or you don't know what. But I am telling you, and I'll continue to say it, until we see ourselves as one Nigeria, we'll have issues. And that is the problem, as it were. I gave you a classical example of 1999, when the PDP, Obasanjo was not part of those that formed PDP. Are you aware? Obasanjo wasn't. Those that formed, go and look for it. Ekweme, Solomon La, and the rest of them, those are the people that form PDP. Those are the people that form PDP. Obasanjo was nowhere near it.
Was you mean PDP before going to PRP?
Who? No, PRP was 1990. No, PRP was in the 80s. No, that was. I'm telling you, as of 1990, Yaradua, the late Yaradua, not the first, the general. Those are the people that formed the PDP. But at the end of it all, the so-called big men, the so-called power blocks in Nigeria, including some retired generals who were former head of states and the rest of them, felt that no, we need somebody of this nature. And that is one. Then two, part of the reason why Obasanjo was there, because of the marginalization or the injustice that people felt, Nigerians felt that they did to Abiola during that June 12th. And they felt that no, since we have deprived the people of the Southwest the presidency, it's also good for us to get somebody from the Southwest to, you understand what I'm saying? So politics is about give and take. So those are the issues we are talking about. So it's not like that. Let me land on this. We are not exonerating the leaders of the Southeast as being part of the problem we're having now. Of course they are. Practically in the Southeast, you cannot see, I don't even know any one of them that you can raise up, a governor that you can raise up, which is why when they talk to people, the president came to my state to commission projects. Go and check out the project that the president commissioned in my state.
Okay, let's hear a voice from the diaspora. Malam Ali in Dublin. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing, sir?
Very well, thank you. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. First of all, my contribution is that I don't think we are saying that some certain group of or some certain section of the country is being marginalized. Because if we want to talk about development, the worst, less developed section of the country is in the north. The northern Nigeria, first of all, there is absolute and abject poverty in the north. People are not going to school. The Almajiris on the street, you need to go to Ibadan and go and see people who are begging on the street of Ibadan. They are northerners. We are suffering seriously. People are still going to school under the tree in the northern Nigeria. Even though that the northerners have been ruling the country, yes, I'm not saying no, but we are suffering in the north. There is nothing happening like economic activity. Like in my local government where I come from, there is no single company that is exporting at all. There is no economic activity happening in Bauchi State where I come from the local government where I am. So northerners are seriously being hit economically. We cannot compare the level of education of Northerners and the South and the eastern part of the country. It's impossible. The level of primary schools and secondary schools. Local governments are absolutely dead when you come to development in the north. So if there is going to be any finger pointing, we should all come together and point at politicians, not pointing fingers to ourselves and killing ourselves. I don't think that is going to solve the problem. We are all suffering from the politicians, the people who are ruling us. That is what is happening, sir. So if an Igbo man is complaining, he should point finger to the politicians. The Hausa man should be pointing finger to the politicians, irrespective of where that politician come from. Now, quickly, because of time. Now, if we're talking about presidency, and the last caller from Kadunna just hit the nail on the head. And if the presidency need to come from the south, from the Igbo land, I want to say the Igbo people are like Okorocha stood up, and we were thinking he's going to be the next president. We from the north, but the Igbo people just finished him constructively. So I just want to relate back to what the last caller have just said, that no one will come and give you the presidency automatically. It's not automatically done. It has to be worked on constructively. And the last one, sir, let me just make this point last one, sir.
Okay.
I want to just point out that I know you are doing a fantastic job, sir, but if you can be bringing Northerners as part of your guests so that the argument will be balanced as far as Nigeria is concerned. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, indeed. Thank you very much, even for the suggestion as well as the call. Did you want to comment on any of that? Because he doubled down that, look, it could be misunderstood to be saying that, look, whichever way, you've got to hand it to the North, you know. I mean, I beg your pardon, hand it to, you know, to Igbos. It could be misunderstood that that is what the agitation is all about. But you have said that you agree with notions that, no, nobody's asking for that. I mean, is that the situation?
Yes, it is. And as I said earlier on, the Igbos or the people of the South cannot win the presidency without the support of other regions.
Yes.
That is established. Yes. Then, part of what I wanted, what he said, that I totally agree with him, is that at times it's not just about the leadership. If you look at what, as he rightly said, he says from Bauchi State. And I've been to Bauchi. I know I was at Azare some months back, and I saw the number of Amajeris on the street of Azare in Bauchi State. I was shocked, the number of children. And when you now jeopardize this on the number of, we are talking of leadership now, on the number of presidents that have come from the north, and you look at the development in the north, and you can now say, was it really worth it? But what you have to ask yourself, why is it that our political leaders, despite all these places, and they still want to retain power? And that is part of. But let us look at it from in Nigeria itself, even the constitution said it that there must be even distribution. Political offices. It is in the constitution.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying,
so let me quickly bring Okudili. Has called in from Kadunna. Good morning, Okudili.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you for calling. Go ahead, please.
Okay. You people are doing great job. Please, I want to talk about the president's statement about the Igbos being unthinkable of thinking of going out from Nigeria. I want to say that whatever thing, wherever you see them all over the nation, it is because of want. And whatever thing they have achieved is just because of how they have made use of the crumbs. They are running after the crumb that is falling everywhere in the whole nation. We saw that Nigerian doctors were rushing to Saudi Arabia and all over the states. It's because the nation is not doing them well. It's not because of that they don't like this place. So let us see it from that angle too, that these people are everywhere. They are talking about economy, but they have not used, Nigerian nation have not thought of using the dynamism of these people in this economy. Can they be in the helm of their faith? and let us see how this thing is working. Can we even give them a chance to manage the economy of the nation? And let us see whether they will thrive well or whether they are going to be selfish about it. Okay, look at what we are talking about now that is disturbing the whole nation, because we just want to talk about personal business. All over the nation, one single tribe, the whole nation is at it.
All right. Thank you for calling in, Okudili. Really appreciate your call. I think that's going to be the last call. We appreciate the sentiment that we've got from just about everybody on the phone this morning. But it seems to me we started off with the unlikely event of the proscribed IPOB, chasing students out of the exam, and then that sort of spread that. Look, beyond that, and I think you gentlemen have said that it's for the authorities to enable a coming together.
Even Governor David Umahi,
yes.
Dave Umahi of
both of you seem to agree.
He said that something like that last week. You have to reach out to these people, so
even though it's proscribed.
Yes, but look, ANC was proscribed. I've told you about ANC was proscribed, and yet they brought Mandela out of prison, and they had to discuss with him.
Okay.
So you need to make the process of President Buhari should walk the talk. It should go beyond just talking about being, it being unthinkable.
Okay.
And then walk the talk. The same way, Professor George Obioza said, release, Igbo sons and daughters in custody.
My last take on this, quickly,
very briefly, please. Very briefly.
There should be a change of strategy by IPOB or whoever at this thing. Yes. We cannot cripple the economy of the Southeast the way we are going. We are endangering our lives. We are endangering the economy of the. I can tell them for sure that if you lock down the Southeast for the next 4 years, the president will not blink. So we cannot be doing ourselves by preventing the same issues that we have been listing.
Again, that statement. It's your personal
opinion. But what I'm saying in essence is that they should not think that by locking down the Southeast, they are doing the president. We are inflicting more problem on ourselves, and that is not the way to go.
So indeed, Nigeria needs to put on their thinking cap.
Yes.
And find a way out of this.
And we must
find a middle ground. We must find a middle ground to this.
Thank you very much.
Chris Kende Wadu. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, so there you are. That's our conversation, indeed our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. And just before I go, remind you about the whole COVID brouhaha. It's out there. You might want to consider the offer of a vaccine. But in any case, do what you can to keep both yourself and those around you safe. You got to wash your hands. You got to mask up. You got to, you got to socially distance appropriately. Having said all of that, I'm Yori Folari. I'll see you tomorrow, God willing. Bye-bye for now.